Alright, what's going on, guys? We are back in the garage and we are going to finish up the installation of all the coilover stuff. So as I showed you guys in the last video, I had the coilover bag sleeve cover things, which I said I was going to put on after we made the final adjustments. And speaking of final adjustments, so this thing rides really good. I want to adjust the dampening in the rear, which we'll get to, but the fronts did not settle as much as I thought they would. So we had a little bit of a too much wheel gap compared to Eric's. Almost none. So I want to lower the front some more, and while we're in there, we'll install the coilover bags, and then we will see about doing the other stuff on the rear. So we have another box from Silver's. We're gonna open it up and see what is inside. And in this box is an envelope. Cool. In this envelope, though, are these things. These are the dampening knob extenders. So yeah, they're probably about 6 inches long. If you guys remember the coilover install video, the back seat is in the way, pretty much, of getting to the dampening adjusters on the rear. So with these, we will be able to probably have to drill like a small hole through the speaker deck or whatever you want to call it, that piece, and have them stick out right there. And then we will be able to adjust the dampening without having to take out the back seats. If this was just my daily, I could just kind of drive it around, like leave the back seat out, drive it around, set the dampening where I wanted it to, and then kind of just forget about it. But because we will be tracking this car, you know, taking it to drift events and everything like that, on top of driving it around, we want to be able to make adjustments on the fly, depending on, you know, track conditions, tire, if I have people in the back. So I'll be able to make adjustments very quickly with these sticking out. So it looks like it's fairly simple. It looks like it just has two set screws. It has 2 set screws, so I'm assuming we just slide this on, tighten the set screws, and then we'll see where this thing has to go. Probably one of the set screws is to take, one of the set screws is to take the end off of the wire, probably, so you can slide it through whatever hole, so you don't have a giant hole like this big. And then the other set screws to tighten it onto the coilover. So we'll put these off to the side for now, and then we're gonna start on the front. I want to adjust the front. It does drive really well right now, but it just doesn't look up to, it just doesn't look as good as I feel like it should look. So yeah, we will get the front up in the air, and then we will adjust some coilovers and put these sleeves on. I'm really excited about these. First off, they have a really big Silver's logo on it, which is cool, so you can really tell what suspension I'm on. And it's a really cool feature. I mean, if I saw a car and I'm like checking out its suspension and I notice that there's like these coilover bags over it, I'd be like, man, those must be some real nice coilovers. So let's get the car up in the air, lower the suspension, and then put these things on. So looking at this wheel gap that we have going on here, I can still get like, I don't know, a finger and a half-ish up there, and we do have some room to go down. So I'm just gonna kind of, I don't wanna like eyeball it. The other side's a hair lower, so I'm just gonna take some measurements kind of like where I want it to visually sit. We might not even have to go down a bunch. I don't want to be like super slam. I don't want to rub the fronts a crazy amount while we're trying to drift and stuff like that. So I think we are going to probably lower it around there, maybe, yeah, probably like half an inch, and we'll see what that looks like. All right, so we got the wheel off and we are looking at our Silver's Neomax coilovers. I still had to put wood down because I don't have a super low profile jack, but we're gonna have to keep doing that because we are going lower, but it'll be fine, it's worth it. So what we're gonna do is we are going to loosen this collar, and then we'll be able to grab it by here and just kind of spin the whole thing. And then what I like to do is pretty much measure it by the collar. So we spin this collar up. I already loosened it, so I'll just show you. And then I kind of use it as a base to guess kind of how much I'm gonna lower the car. So to lower it, you turn the shock body and you'll see this get closer to the collar, and that's kind of how much you know that you have lowered the car, because it's bringing the suspension, the lower mount, closer up, which will in turn lower the car. So that's it. We have lowered the car about roughly around a ½ inch, and then we tighten this back up and we are done. So now I'm gonna find out how to put this coilover bag sleeve thing on. So I'm assuming you take your coilover bag sleeve thing, unzip it all the way, I guess. Yep. Oh, that's simple. So it opens up like this and then kind of just hugs this thing, and then we zip it back up and turn it. So let's do that now. So I don't know which way exactly is supposed to be the correct way, whether it's silver's going this way or silver's going the other way, but I installed them wrong. I'm gonna have to squeeze them up over the last spring, but this is cool because it covers all the threads. And normally, if you guys have ever bought old coilovers, like used coilovers off of someone, they might be seized and whatever, and it's normally because a lot of junk gets into the threads for this collar to spin up easily. So this should keep all the dust and dirt and sand and anything else out of the spring, out of the threads, and make them last a lot longer. Man, that looks so cool in there. It's just kind of nice and hidden, tucked away. Yeah, I am super excited to have these on. All right, so we have successfully lowered the front. Might not look like much on camera, but it definitely makes it look a whole lot better. So now, while we're here, you might as well jack up the rear, take the wheels off, and do the coilover sleeve things on the rear also. Man, this is just like a game changer. Like, it makes it just, I don't know, makes it look that much better. Some nice clean coilovers and some nice cool looking bags. So I finished putting on the coilover cover things, and now the fun part on Eric's home. So now we're gonna pop the back seats out and see about installing these. I think from looking at it, I might be able to just get it like in between the seat and that panel and not have to drill anything. Looking at like where I think the top of the strut is, but we'll see. All right, so got the back seat out, and here's the top of the coilover and the dampening, and then the little hole that you see there is where the set screw is. So we're gonna take our little Allen key and take that off. So took set screw off and got the regular knob off, and then I'm gonna see, I might have to like drill a little hole through this, or like cut a slit into it maybe. Yeah, that'd be kind of far, because we're supposed to be like over here. What do you think?
Gotta hold the glass.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm breaking stuff.
Be all right.
All right. Maybe I might just do a slit, but then it's gonna be split open. Nah, I might just drill a hole. It's just like this cardboard thing. Yeah, because we're like a couple inches off from them being straight up. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a hole probably somewhere around here, and then take this off, slide it through, and go from there. All right, so I drill the hole right where this thing's roughly gonna be, and then just slide this through. See it on the other end, and then we'll put this piece back on, because this is a piece that actually attaches to the top of the coilover. And we're done. We attached it onto the top with that little set screw right there, and then now we have dampening extenders. As you see, the back seat's like all the way up to here, so they'll be right at the edge of the back seat. And then you got cool little antennas. I just still got to do that side. But yeah, I got cool little antennas that are gonna rattle around, but they won't hit the back window, so shouldn't make any noise. So now I'll go do that side, do the same thing, and then we'll reassemble and see how it looks. All right, so the back interior is put back together, and now we have two little antennas, one right there and one right there. So now, like I was saying before, we can adjust the dampening on the fly. We can make changes. I can make it stiffer, softer, whatever the case may be for whatever, you know, certain scenario that we are encountering, and now we won't have to go through the pain of removing the back seats. And last but not least, we have one more package. This one comes to us from, this is from one of my friends. His name is Mike Perez, and he hooked us up with one of the final pieces of the puzzle for this thing. No, am I kidding? Not final piece of the puzzle. We still have a long way to go with this thing. So in this box, I finished getting a package. By the way, shout out to Mike. He packaged this thing super well, because it is kind of a little bit delicate piece, and it might not mean a lot to anyone else, but I don't have one of these on my car. This is the coil pack cover for a 1JZ non-VVTi. So we're not going to do that now. I want to figure out what the OEM hardware is, maybe get OEM hardware, or just run to the parts store and grab something. But that'll be for a later time. I tried to squeeze this in just because I wanted to get it done. I'm way happier with the car, you know, a little bit lower, and now we have those coilover sleeves in, and the fact that we can adjust the dampening now without having to mess with any interior or anything like that. So what's next? I don't know. I mean, we have that coil pack cover. I'm still waiting on a couple of things. I'll give you a quick little show. There it is, and still waiting on a couple parts. So it'll just be when the time comes, when I get those parts, when they come in, we'll get to do some more work on the JZX. So that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, if you thought it was better than the last one, hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and also hit that little bell next to the subscription button. It notifies you when we upload, so you guys get to watch it right away. Don't have to wait until me posting it on Instagram or something like that. As soon as the video goes live, you guys get a notification and you guys get to watch it. Thank you again, and we will see you guys next time.